Canada and the United States. My father's occupation took my family and me to a different city every few years. As you can imagine, it was very challenging trying to adjust to different cultures and trying to fit in with others. However, I do have some fond memories of each country that I will share with you today. I was born in a small town called Warrington. It is located very close to Manchester in northern England. When I was 4, Princess Diana was on the television a lot. My friends and I were absolutely fascinated with her. We tried to imitate her because we wanted to be a real-life princess too. We styled our hair just like her and tried to talk like her. During recess, we took turns pretending to be Prince Charles and Princess Diana, waving to the crowds after their wedding ceremony. We even pretended to be the horses pulling their wedding carriage. We were determined to do it absolutely properly. When I was 5, I moved to a village called Makin. It is located in southern Scotland. A lot of sheep live there too. One day, I decided that it would be a great idea to show a sheep around my house. Since I was at the same height as it, I grabbed it by its neck and pulled it into my house. Like a good real estate, I showed it around each room. As I took it upstairs to my bedroom, my mother suddenly appeared. The sheep looked at my nefarious mother, screamed, and ran out of the house as fast as it could. I have never seen a sheep move that fast. It probably broke a world record. When I was 6, I moved to Libya. I wasn't quite prepared for the culture shock that I experienced while living there. It was extremely difficult because I couldn't speak Arabic and their culture was vastly different from mine. I did, however, make friends even though we didn't speak the same language. We would draw pictures in our notebooks to communicate with each other. It was a great way to explain to each other where we would meet the next day. In northern Libya, there are numerous Roman ruins. There are impressive amphitheaters, marketplaces, and arches everywhere. On the weekends, my parents would take me and my sister to play there. Using ancient theaters, my sister and I would perform plays that we created. I think Shakespeare would have been most pleased. Due to tensions, however, between England and Libya, we had to return to England a year later. When I was 10, I moved to Canada. During my first year in Canada, I learned about Halloween. I didn't celebrate it in England. We celebrate Guy Fawkes Day on November 5th, but it isn't related to Halloween. My friends kept asking me which costume I was wearing Halloween. What is Halloween, I asked. They looked at me in shock. I must have grown a second head. They told me that children go from house collecting candy. I couldn't believe it. This was the best day of my life. I couldn't get home fast enough to tell my mom and dad. Because we had left it too late, we couldn't find costumes at the store. My mom quickly improvised, always very good at that. She took a bedsheet, drew a face, and sewed a bow to the top. I was a scary little ghost. When I was 14, I moved to the United States. When my dad told me that we were moving to Hawaii, I rolled my eyes. It was a little hard to believe. People were very welcoming and extremely friendly. On my first day at school, several people introduced me to their friends, and showed me around the school. My high school was located on a dormant volcano called Coco Crater. After school, my sister and I would go to the beach to boogie board. We became quite good at it. We would have to be careful because there were always a lot of nurse sharks nearby. It wasn't uncommon for them to bite people. I lived in paradise. It was beautiful. Sadly, my dad's work visa expired and we had to return to Canada. I feel very lucky to have had the opportunity to live in England, Scotland, Libya, Canada, and the United States. Due to my exposure to these countries, I became open-minded and less judgmental about the people I met. I started to appreciate different cultural traditions and religions. It also started my interest to travel to faraway places, But that is another story. Mr. Toastmaster?